When the voters go to the polls on May 18th, they will think of more than how to get their slice of the cake. It takes more to sell a politician to voters than promising service delivery. They need to build a relationship with the voters. In South Africa, what it takes is singing and dancing. President Jacob Zuma probably scores highest in the singing and dancing stakes. His signature tune, sung at all his rallies, is the controversial Awulet Umshiniwam. Everyone knows it, and it has become a shorthand for the man himself. This is what you call brand awareness. But recently, a challenger has been dancing up from behind. The Democratic Alliance's Helen Zille might not have a signature tune yet, but she sure has the moves. Zille stands out as a candidate that has changed her appearance from the previous election. In 2009, she seemed to favor a more formal image. Now she has loosened up, even wearing DA-branded tackies. The same change can be seen in the DA's other visual branding. Rather than concentrating on Zille alone, the party has chosen to showcase their three leaders together. Meanwhile, the ANC is focusing on President Jacob Zuma himself. His face appears on posters, t-shirts and billboards everywhere. The message seems to be the stability of his leadership, rather than emphasizing how the leader has changed. In fact, Zuma's image doesn't so much change from year to year, but according to who he addresses. He shifts between directly referencing party history and dressing like a suburban dad. While he presents an image of staid responsibility, the more controversial messages have been left up to other ANC figureheads like Julius Malema, whose clothes send their own signals.
Acting against the youth and the workers, you are acting against the people who brought down apartheid regime.
But the most important part of getting the message out is making sure you speak to voters in a language they can understand.
Hi everybody.
In the end, campaigning isn't just about getting your message out to supporters, but getting them to carry it further. Giving t-shirts away turns party supporters into walking billboards. In this election, brand loyalty counts for everything, and politicians will do almost anything to achieve it.
Right, hopefully that scene setter will set up some opinion from your side. But I'll tell you what, I have three people to help me through some opinion on where it goes from their point of view. Lebogang Peko, political analyst, together with Janine Lazarus, who's a media consultant, and Spasia Karas, the editor of Marie Claire. Well, welcome to all three of you. I'm going to start with you, Lebogang. Your thoughts in terms of how, let's take the two of them, President Zuma on the one hand and Helen Zille, sort of come across in terms of their image.
You know, the whole notion of political branding is linked to building trust, making a connection with your constituents and your voters, and also sending out a consistent message. And what we're seeing is really that, you know, we've seen President Zuma branding himself over the last few years as the people's president, as somebody who's accessible, as a father figure, somebody who's congenial, you know, almost like a Father Christmas, you know, the granddad,
Father Christmas,
the granddad who you jive with and stuff like that. And whether that, but in terms of a substantive political message, I think that's incredibly mixed.
Okay. Does it come through for you? Father Christmas normally pretty trusting, isn't it? He delivers, we think.
I don't know about a Father Christmas. I don't know if I could put Jacob Zuma in a Christmas hat with a big.
Where would you put him?
Exactly what he was. He was a herd boy from KwaZulu-Natal. He talks to people. He speaks a language that people can understand. Helen Zille, on the other hand, doing her best to come across as one of perhaps the broader citizenry, but I'm not quite sure if she's succeeding.
Right, you from a fashion magazine point of view, the clothing they wear, what do they wear? What do you like?
Well, I think, I mean, branding, the way you present yourself is incredibly important, especially in the political arena. So you just need to look at the effect that Michelle Obama has had on Obama's profile, or Carla Bruni, alternatively, on Sarkozy's profile. But I think that, so I think they're obviously getting some messages, but I think that Zuma has to work on his smile.
You think he doesn't smile?
That smile on, no, I think he smiles too much. That oleaginous kind of lugubrious smile on the poster is like too much.
Not
too
believable.
Much. It doesn't, it's not trustworthy.
Lebogang, you mentioned earlier sort of mixed messages. Does he come across like that? That could be almost insincere then.
Extremely insincere. He comes across as somebody who's trying to be affable and trying to please too many people at the same time. He doesn't come across as having a direct and clear and consistent message that voters can really hear. And I think it's only party loyalists at the moment who are able to hear him clearly. And I think even then, out of loyalty.
Isn't that what politicians do, sort of try and impress upon the widest spectrum of people? I mean, that's their job.
You can impress upon, but I mean, let's take Obama, for example. He was consistent about it's time for change all the way through. That was his message, and that's actually what won him the election. He was the least experienced, least known, and very tricky credentials. He's a black man running for the highest office in America, but the message of change was consistent, whereas the other candidates were flip-flopping. Hillary Clinton, John McCain, they were all flip-flopping all the way through. You need a clear and consistent message. We don't get that.
Okay, there's a phrase, singing for your supper. I don't think it applies to Barack Obama, but it certainly does seem to apply to South Africa, where leading politicians need to be able to sing, whether they really like to or not. Janine, your thoughts on that?
Well, sing and dance.
Well, both,
sing and dance. And I'm not quite
sure. Let's stop singing first, yes.
Well, okay, I'm not quite sure our president sings, keeps tune, but I get the sort of the ethos of his message, and I hear it coming across. He's certainly a better dancer, irrespective of what Julius Malema says. We looked at a clip of Helen Zille. And I think what is not ringing true to me is what she was and what she's become. I preferred her perhaps a year or two back, because she cut quite a believable and a credible figure. I think the fact that she's wearing her DA plimsolls or her tackies,
Converse.
and her tackies and that sort of South African flag skirt, there's something that doesn't ring true for me. In fact, it looks rather odd.
It's been very interesting to watch the evolution of Helen Zille, because I interviewed her many years ago, where she said no, she gets dressed in the morning in the dark.
It shows.
Well, she's not doing that anymore. And I think there's a much more considered approach.
Just give me one word about evolution, and we'll pick up the discussion after that.
Botox? No, sorry, that's terrible.
Botox, my goodness. No, some say Botox buys you votes. I don't know. I tell you what, we're going to have to start with that after this.